All right, I am here with my good friend, my God friend, Bradley Logan, and he is founding member of Prosperous Legacy Advisors, and we are going to be telling you why we would love to have you at the Divine Law Masterclass.
Thank you, Phoenix,
You're welcome.
for this opportunity to talk about my favorite subject, which is divine law. And just to distinguish that, if you're not familiar with the term, it's what we refer to as the Creator's law, divine law, the laws of nature, how nature really works, wrapping up all of the essence of science and math and Mother Nature all coming together in the spirit of the living, breathing Pachamama, the earth, God, is how I refer to that creator. That's how I refer to that creator, to the Creator. And I don't really care how you refer to the Creator. That source that animates life is what I'm referring to. And underneath that body of law are two primary principles. You know what they are, Phoenix?
Yes, I do. Love God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and then love your neighbor as yourself. The key part being that you must first love God with all your heart, mind, and soul, so that you understand how much you are loved yourself. And then from that space of understanding, you can extend love to your neighbor. And in that world, everything works. Why? Because I know I would never do harm to myself in another form, my brother or the earth, whatever it might be. So it's a form of stewardship and respect and just reverence for life and all that is. Mm-hmm. And so at this Divine Law Masterclass, that's the foundation that we're coming from. We're stepping out of man-made law and going back to true divine law. And so if you're interested in this, once you've had that realization and you've come back to that remembering of who you are in the eyes of God and what you were put here to do, you can then begin to steward the resources that God has allocated to you in a different way. And it provides a lot of benefits that you might be interested in, some of which include...
Well, for instance, if you run a business and you're asking the government for a business license or permission, and you have a professional license of some sort, there are ways that you can bring the services that God has gifted you with to your brothers and your sisters and to your family without having to go through all the red tape and bureaucratic nonsense. And it's very much the same as you would operate an LLC. You can operate a private PMA, Private Membership Association. So we'll talk all about this on the Divine Law Challenge. If you've never heard of this term before, we'll explain what it all means and how it works. And if you are familiar with them, we will express new and powerful ways to steward the resources that you've been entrusted by the Creator through not only PMAs, but trusts, right? And we're not talking about statutory trust, that's man-made law. We're talking about just your agreement, your word, having integrity with your word and making a bond and a declaration before the Creator on how you're going to serve your brothers and your sisters, and using private trusts. And so we teach people how to be trustees and steward God's resources for the next generation. And so you're going to learn a lot about that, which sidesteps, by the way, probate and estate law and all of that stuff. When I was a practicing attorney, I was deeply involved in that licensed mess and how complicated that is for people at their most vulnerable time in life, when you've lost a loved one and you're trying to navigate through how to pass on the assets of the previous generation and use them as resources for the new generation. The matrix just traps resources and assets in their system and taxes them and extracts, and people get swirled. And so there's a whole easy way around all of that. And so we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
That all fits under God's law. He's all got it figured out for us, and it's super easy. And these are the things that we're talking about at the Divine Law Masterclass.
Yeah. And so one of the quotes from the Bible, a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. And so if you are ready to do that and step into that, this is a beautiful way to make that process so much easier for the family members that you're leaving behind, because however you intend your resources to be allocated, that's how it shall be. without all the mess, all the hassle. I know from personal experience, my mom went through such a headache dealing with the passing of her parents, and I would have done anything to help soothe that for her and make it easier. And this, I didn't know about this then, and now I do. And so I want to pass this on to more people so that your resources can go where you intend them to go, where God has told you to send them after your passing. So that's one of the major advantages. There's also, you can, instead of tithing into a system in which basically I'm just calling that taxation, where you have no say over where your money goes and how it is going to be distributed. It could go to into the war machine and buying bombs and buying guns. Or you can then take authority back over, stewardship back over these resources, your life energy that you put your blood, sweat, tears into working for, and you can then allocate them however you wish. You can say, I want this to go to this garden. I want this to go to this water project. I want to go to this nature reforestation project. I want this to go to this orphanage. I want this to go to wherever it is that, it's the calling on your heart is to send it. You have authority again over that. And you begin to, again, step back into your power as a creator. So all of this will be discussed and so much more at the Divine Law Masterclass. And I just want to thank Bradley for taking the time out of his day to come here and speak with you guys about this. And you can find all the information in the link below, and that's where you will register as well. The date and time of the next upcoming masterclass will be on that website. So I hope you'll click the link and register, and we'll see you there. Thank you so much.
Adios for now.
Ciao.